Hello everyone and welcome for a new Dungeon Defenders 2 video. Today we start to cover the freshly arrived new massive update for the game, Trials, the endgame update. This first video is an overview of the update to talk about all the new mechanics, addition to the game and what has been changed in this update. Note that the description below the video has the timestamps allowing you to skip the section you are not interested in. This video will cover the change to the items and their consequences on the game, the shards, the ascension, the new chaos difficulty and its 5 enemies, and finally the minor changes to the heroes and in particular the apprentice and monk. Let's start with the changes to the items. First, the stat boosts given by items have been drastically changed. Each hero can equip in general 9 pieces of equipment, being a weapon, 4 pieces of armor and 4 relics. The weapon and the armor are focused only on hero-based stats, while the relics are based only on defense stats. The idea is that each hero can equip 1 relic for each defense he or she can use. This allows a hero to be better all around by having, for example, very healthy blockade, while maintaining a good firepower on offensive towers. Each relic boosts 3 stats at a time. The first stat is a primary stat and depends on the type of relic equipped. Medallions boost mainly the defense power, marks boost mainly the defense crit damage, totems boost mainly the defense health, and finally, orbs boost mainly the defense attack speed. Then, each relic carries also 2 secondary stats different from the main stats, which can be any of the previously mentioned stats. Armor and weapons stay pretty much the same as before this update, except that they can only roll hero stats being hero damage, hero critical damage, ability power and hero health. The last and probably the biggest change is that items don't carry any passive properties anymore. Instead, they have slots where shards can be inserted. The number of slots depend on the type of item and the rarity of the item dropped. Relics can have up to 3 slots, while weapons and armors can have up to 2 slots. Shards are unique items that can only be obtained by clearing successfully maps. Any game mode will always reward you a command pack shard at the end of the map in the chest. On top of that, trial playlists will reward you with one or several pack shards of the chosen difficulty. The higher the difficulty, the better chances to have strong shards. Shards can be blue or green. Blue shards fit into weapons and armor while the green fit into relics. It is important to always carefully read the description of the shard, as many shards can have effect only in certain situations. For example, each shard affecting a type of defense in particular will have effect only if inserted in a relic equipped for that specific defense. So you can't use the benefits of a shard for a cannonball into a blockade and vice versa. On top of that, blue shards are very often possible to insert in only one type of equipment only. For example, you can only insert a movement speed bonus shard in boots. The last key factor about shards is that they can be upgraded many times to improve their power. Each shard has a specific number of upgrades possible and a different price associated. You can use Defender medals or gold to upgrade your shards just like you would with items. Not only items have been changed, but the progression of the heroes themselves also have changed. Spheres have been entirely removed from the game, becoming for the most part shards. You can't spend stat points in the stat of your choice anymore when a hero level up, but instead you have access to the Ascension. The Ascension is a very straightforward system that allows all your heroes to get stronger past the level 50. The concept is that your entire account has a single Ascension level, while all your heroes past level 50 can participate to improve it. All experience points gained by a hero past level 50 will count towards your Ascension. Each Ascension level rewards all your heroes with 1 point to spend in 3 columns being Offense, Defense and Utility. The Offense column focuses on your hero in battle, the Defense column focuses on improving your defense, and finally, the Utility column features a bunch of different stats affecting both your hero and its defenses. The twist is that you can spend your Ascension points for each of your heroes separately, even though they all share the same level. So if you are level 100, each of your heroes will have 100 points to spend in the 3 columns. The best thing to do is to know what you want to do with each of your heroes and choose your Ascension powers accordingly. Be careful, as resetting your Ascension points costs 200 Defender medals, so try to be really sure before spending your points. Now that you are geared up and ready to ascend, I bet you are ready to take care of the Chaos, right? Chaos is the name of the new difficulty levels introduced with this update. The Nightmare difficulties have been entirely removed and replaced with the 5 Chaos difficulties. The Chaos 1 difficulty being the easiest and Chaos 5 the hardest. Each Chaos difficulty has stronger enemies in terms of stats, but also introduce a new enemy to the fray. Chaos 1 introduced the Shield Goblins. These enemies, as their name indicates, carry a massive shield that protects them from frontal assaults, meaning that all projectiles thrown in the shields will have no effect at all. The best way to take care of the Shield Goblins is by using traps and auras, using towers that are not projectile based, such as Earthshatter, Sand Viper, Flamethrower, etc., or by placing your projectile towers on the sides or behind the enemies, or lastly, by turning the enemies around manually. Chaos 2 adds the Cyborgs. Cyborgs are orcs with an electric hammer, allowing them to disable any trap or aura close to their path. Cyborgs are the most straightforward type of enemies. Just try not to rely too heavily on traps and auras, otherwise you can put a few cheap traps before your main traps and auras to divert attention from the cyborgs. Chaos 3 features the Geods enemies. They are big purple crystals of energy that radiate a big shield around them, protecting themselves and every enemy in the shield. The shield reflects any projectiles cast at it, making all projectiles useless against them. Just like for the Shield Goblins, the best option is to use traps and auras or non-projectile based towers. Note that these enemies still have strong attacks, so try to take care quickly of them or your defenses will get destroyed. Chaos 4 introduces the Berserker Lady Orc. These Lady Orcs love to run very fast and hit like a truck. Slow effects won't have any impact on them, and due to their very high movement speed, some traps and auras can be ineffective to deal with them. The best way to remove them from the map is by dealing big bursts of damage with high single target damage defenses, such as the Lightning Strike aura. Note that it is still possible to stun them to interrupt their marathon for a few seconds. And lastly, Chaos 5 introduces Dark Assassins. These ghostly enemies tend to hide and don't really care about your crystals. All they want is to kill you at all cost and will for that teleport on a party member regularly and try to backstab this person. They can also give you a spectral hug, causing you to be unable to attack or use any ability for the time being. When this happens, you need your allies to kill the ghost, and you can move around the map to place yourself in front of your defenses so they can help killing the Dark Assassin. Note that each of these difficulties introduce a new type of enemy. This means that you may encounter all 5 types of enemies in Chaos 5. Each Chaos difficulty puts a new pressure on your build, so you'd better consider each enemy's strengths and weaknesses before tackling any new difficulty. Finally, let's take a quick look at the changes on heroes, and in particular, the Apprentice and the Monk. The Apprentice has by default the Flamethrower tower instead of the Flameburst tower, and can't use the Flameburst tower at all anymore. This means that the Apprentice has no defense to deal damage to flying enemies and needs other builders to help him out for that purpose. The Monk can now double jump at all times just like the Dryad. On top of that, his defenses have been changed for the most part. The Lightning Aura becomes a Flame Aura, serving the same purpose but dealing fire damage instead of lightning. The Lightning Strike aura, formerly an Uber defense, becomes a regular defense and takes the 4th slot of the Monk defenses. The Serenity aura is being removed and replaced entirely by the new Boost aura. The Boost aura still boosts defenses, but can also now be equipped with shards that matches with the old Serenity aura passive and spheres. This means that the boost aura can now serve very varied purposes, both on the offensive and defensive sides. The Skyguard tower stays the same as it was before. Finally, all heroes have now the same aerial control as a gun which means that heroes can be controlled much more easily in the air and don't feel like flying soaps anymore. This overview of the Trials endgame update is finished. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content on Dungeon Defenders 2. You can also join my Discord server to ask for help, ask questions, or simply find other players to play with thanks to the link in the description below. You can also find a link to my Twitch channel where I stream very regularly, so come have a look if you wish. Stay tuned for more videos covering this update in a very near future and much more on Dungeon Defenders 2. Have a very good day.